Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Counterpunch, where we sit talking bullshit about the fight game. I'm RJ Bam. I appreciate y'all being here with me. Did you guys see that last fight night over the weekend, man? I hope y'all did. Because if you did, it was a disappointment. Some wild shit happened in that fight. The Moreno fight. Man, people were complaining that fight ended in a draw. They thought Moreno won. Now, I would say that the Russian, God, I forget his name, but Moreno was definitely the more aggressive of the two fighters, right? He definitely was, and he definitely he did have the Russian hurt a little bit more than vice versa, but I have no problem with draws. I like that draw. Personally, I had nobody as a clear-cut winner in that fight. The only thing that I had going for Moreno was the aggression that he had, but outside of that, I mean, he got taken down. He took the other guy down. He had him. There was like swirly moments on the ground. Stand up, he was definitely the better stand up, but like. I had no problem with the draw at all. People were complaining about it, but instead of taking and adding a loss to somebody's fight column, I prefer them to just do the draw. That draw, it keeps the record intact and it doesn't fuck them up for later. So I'm totally fine with the draw, and I like the way that ended. Now, it was cool. The rest of the card, it was whatever, but yeah, people were really upset about that. Now, going into the next fight, the biggest thing out of this card, I really thought the Mexican judges were really gonna favor the Mexican fighters more, and it was almost like the judges were like, yo, everywhere these motherfuckers fight, their countrymen get favored, and so we're trying to do the opposite. It's basically almost what it felt like. Like hindsight after all the fights were over, I was like, yo, actually looking back, like, did any of the Mexican fighters win? But going into the next fight, man, Carla Esparza versus Alexa Grasso. Man, Alexa is ferocious, man. Alexa Grasso looked good on the feet, man. She was, her punches were way tighter than Carla's. Her 1-2 combos, she was coming in, whop whop, just coming in real strong. And then even when she went to the ground, like, she almost ended Carla. She almost made Carla tap on the ground. So, like, that was wild. The fact that Carla, like, when that came down to a decision and Carla won that fight, when it went to a decision and it was a majority decision, I was like, oh, yeah, Alexa Grasso all day. And then they said Carla's name. Even Alexa was smiling and shit before they actually called the name. And when Carla won, I was like, what? I was like, yo, did the judges get the names mixed up? Did they think the other one was Alexa and this one was Carla? Or what the fuck is going on? Because when Carla's name got called for the win by majority decision, I was like, what the fuck? Now, granted, like, yeah, that shit was, in Mexico went wild. They were fucking throwing, yo, she said she had like Gatorade dumped on her trying to get back into the back of the building and shit, like, yo, those Mexican fans were not happy, and of course not. And because that fight, that was the one call where I was like, what the fuck are these judges smoking, bro? A majority decision for Carla. Yo, when Alexa had her on the ground and she had her in that armbar, oh my god, it was so hard to watch. I was watching that and I was going, it's broken. Tap, tap. Oh my god, call the fight. It's broken. She broke her arm. Oh my god, she broke her arm. It literally hyperextended, and to the point where the bone's sticking out, poking against her skin, and it's so. I rewatched that, and paused it, rewound it. I rewatched it like 7 times, and every single time I was like, "It's broken. There's no way her arm's not broken." That shit was. It was. Elbows don't bend that way, okay? If she didn't, okay, she either, Carla Esparza either got the most incredible dexterity in her elbows where it can literally hyperextend and she's fine, or it broke and she just didn't tap because she's too mentally tough to let herself tap. I think it was the latter. But like, and I think she just had insane amounts of adrenaline going. It might not have broken. I'm sure something popped in there. There's no way something didn't pop. A ligament, something. Her elbow, the actual bone maybe didn't break, but something definitely popped. But then like right afterwards, she was still throwing with that arm. Right after that scramble, when she got out of it, she was throwing with that left arm. So I was like, did it not break? But then I was like, yo, adrenaline probably took over. If it didn't break, if it's just the ligament that popped, she can still move her arm. And so, but there's no fucking way, dude. I rewatched that so many times. It was disgusting, and I was like, shouts out to Carla for not tapping, because that mental toughness is something else. But that was incredible. That shit. That shit hurt to watch. Let me just say it that way. I was like, it's fucking broken. Oh my god, I'm just like, it's broken. And then for the fact that Alexa didn't lose, or the fact that Alexa lost the decision, I was like, wow, what's happening? What fight did these judges just watch? Right? That shit was I was as shocked as everybody else. Alexa was shocked. I was shocked. Bisping was shocked. Because I think Bisping was about to go talk to fucking Alexa, and then he was like, Carla, hey. And Carla's and she was even towards the end of that third round, like after Carla got out of the armbar, Alexa just started teeing off on her face, just hitting her with combos, bop 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 bop, 1-2 1-2, and then I think Carla probably broke her nose and her elbow in that fight. That shit's wild. And still came out with a victory, so I guess, good for her. But yeah, I really thought Alexa Grasso won that fight. I think that was a bad decision. And the fact that Carla didn't tap on that, I don't even know when she's going to be able to fight next, because she has to go recover from her injuries now, But, and then going in to the next fight, was the Yair Jeremy Stephens fight, and I was super pumped up for this fight because literally going into that fight, I was like, yo, I don't know who's gonna win. Jeremy Stephens got bricks for hands. I had called Yair with I said Yair 4th round TKO. I thought he was just gonna take Jeremy into deeper waters and be able to throw some things at him that maybe you can't prepare for, because that's just what Yair does. And fucking 15 seconds into the fight, gets an eye poke, and then Jeremy Stephens can't even open his eyes. Now, they showed that replay a bunch of times with the eye poke, and they kept showing the replay, kept showing the replay, and it didn't look like that bad of an eye poke. In fact, it looked like he got poked in the right eye, but then it was his left eye that he was complaining about, which was weird. And then the ref was like, and Herb Dean did a phenomenal job. He's like, yo, you got 5 minutes. You got full 5 minutes. Take the full 5. Herb Dean did a great fucking job taking control of the situation and being there on the side of the fighters. He's like, yo, take the full 5, Jeremy. You good? Just wait it out. Like his eye couldn't even open. And he was like, yo, your eye is probably still reacting to what happened. Just let it relax a little bit. Take a few minutes, and then we can let the doctor come in here and see what the deal is. And Jeremy Stephens couldn't even open his left eye. Everyone thought it was a right eye. That's the eye that got touched by the finger and ended up being his left eye. And then the doctor came in, and the only thing Jeremy kept saying, yo, he got me good. He got me good. And then they finally brought the doctor in. He was like, yo, they brought the doctor in, and then the doctor's like, yeah, we can't even, he's not opening his eye. We can't look at it. And then Herb Dean was like, okay, before anything happens, he's still got 90 more seconds. So just let him just walk off. Let him relax his eye. In 90 seconds, you can come back and check his eye. And Herb Dean, shouts out to Herb Dean, a fucking G, an absolute beast of a ref, and took control of that situation for the fighter, and he did a phenomenal job. And they came back and they looked at Jeremy Stephens' eye, and they're like, yo, open your eye. And he's just like refusing to open his eye. He can't even open his eye. It's like his eyes got glued shut. And then after that, he was like, okay, that's it, man. If he can't even open his eye, that's it. So we're going to call the fight. And they called the fight no contest. And bottles of water were thrown. Everything was thrown. Drinks were thrown. They got Jeremy the fuck out of there. And what a letdown, man. What a shitty way to end that fight card. And what a shit, because I really wanted to see that fight. And god damn, bro. And then afterward, the next day, Jeremy posted up a video with a fucking eye patch on. It looked like that motherfucker just got done watching Bird Box. He had a fucking eye patch on, talking about, it got me good. I mean, I don't know, man. It wasn't my eye. I can't speak on it. But just looking at the replay, it looked like it was his right eye that got hit, not his left. They kept showing replay from one angle only, so I didn't see it. I don't know if they had a camera on the other angle from the other side of his face, but they only showed it from this side, and it looked like his right eye just barely got touched, but he couldn't even open his left eye. So maybe the other angle, like the inside, maybe the pinky went into his left eye or something. But yeah, he had an eye patch on, a big ass bandage, couldn't see nothing. From that, I didn't listen to what he said, but just seeing that, I was like, oh damn, he must have fucked his eye up. So if he did continue fighting, he would have definitely, if that's the case, if he did continue fighting, he probably would have gotten fucked up, because Yair could have probably just stood on this side of his body and he wouldn't even see him. He'd have to keep doing this shit. Imagine losing 50% of your peripheral. That would, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it sucks. That was a shitty way to end that card, especially since that was the fight that I wanted to see. The only fight, really. I mean, I wanted to see Alexa Grasso and Carla, but I was super pumped up for Stevens and Yair. And, God, that sucks. So, hopefully speedy recovery for Jeremy Stevens. And Yair hasn't fought in 10 months, man. That last September was the last time he fought, so I was really pumped to see him, but he ain't going to fight this year, so that really sucks, because if you don't fight, you don't get paid, right? So it's a bummer. Unless he gets show money, like certain amount of money to show, I don't know. Who knows? UFC does stupid ass shit like that, so. But right as soon as that fight, during the commercials of that fight card, and as soon as that fight was over, a certain fight got announced that I got fucking hyped for. Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski got announced for December 14, and holy shit. Alexander Volkanovski climbed the fucking ranks, bro, because they still had Brian Ortega at the number 1 spot for featherweights, even though he hasn't fought in, man, I want to say like 2 years or something, right? When he lost to Max, that was like, was it 2 years ago? Couldn't have been that long, but it maybe it was. And then all of a sudden, Volkanovski's been making noise. He fought Aldo. He fought everybody, right? He slowly climbed the ranks, and all of a sudden, he's ranked number 1, and now they finally announced it. Volkanovski, Holloway, both pressure fighters, which is crazy. They both got insane cardio, pressure fighters. Volkanovski is more of a ground game guy, but he can brawl. And Max Holloway has got some phenomenal striking. Dude, I cannot wait for this fight. I don't know what's going to happen. They both beast cardio. Volkanovski was the one person I'm like, yo, I remember saying that last 2 times I saw Volkanovski fight. I was like, yo, when this dude gets ranked up high enough and he's going to fight Aldo or he's going to fight Holloway, it's going to be a problem. And finally, we get to see it December 14th. Holloway got the height advantage. Holloway's like damn near 6 feet tall. Volkanovski's a shorter dude. He's probably going to be looking to pressure, take down, push him up against the fence, do some work against there, drain him, try to take it to the ground, pound away. And Max Holloway got phenomenal anti-wrestling, man. People always forget about that. He's got great anti-wrestling. He does not get taken down very easily at all, if at all. And his striking is on a whole nother level, man. So I can't wait to see what happens when the pressure fighter wrestler tries to take down Holloway. Has he really faced that? Ortega's a jiu-jitsu phenom, but he's not a wrestler like Volkanovski, so his takedowns are not the same. What's going to happen, we'll see, man. But either way, they both got phenomenal cardio, and so I can't wait for this fight, man. It's going to be it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a barn burner for sure. I cannot wait. Max Holloway going back down to 45. And let's see, man. Let's see him defend, man. I think this is his first defense at 45 since he went up to fight Dustin Poirier at 55. Pretty sure. So, fuck, I can't wait for that fight. I'm so happy that got announced. And December's got some good cards coming up, man. December's got some really good cards coming up. Another thing that got a little bit of attention is Rashad Evans has apparently parted ways with the UFC to come out of retirement with a different organization. Now, Rashad Evans, I'm sure he's been training this whole time. You don't just stop training and I mean, some people do, but if you even have a slight inkling that you might come back, you're not going to stop training. And for him to come out of retirement, I think is wild. Like, I mean, it's if the monster's still in there and you can't win against that monster that keeps crawling out. It's what fighters do, man. They run out of shit to they miss the fight, they miss that hunger, and I think Andre Ward said it best. Undefeated fighter, undefeated record, undisputed, goes out on top, retires, and then people are talking about, is he going to come out of retirement? He's like, of course I get the itch to come out of retirement, but his coach said something to him that really resonated with him. And he said, yo, you were undefeated as a fighter, and now your fight is against retirement. Are you going to let this feeling of coming out of retirement beat you, or are you going to beat it? And when he started looking like at retirement in that way, where it's like, oh, this is just another fight. I'm fighting to stay in retirement. Retirement's not going to beat me. I'm going to beat retirement. And that's how I know Andre Ward's never going to come back. But he came out, he left on top of the game, and nobody could say, and I love when fighters do that. He made a lot of money, and now he's commentating. Now Rashad Evans had a cushy desk job with the UFC. Nobody, you don't just go on that panel. Like, he's a phenomenal commentator or whatever. I mean, he's up at the booth, so he's not down with like Rogan and them commentating, but he is the post show that they did, and then they would cut to the show after fights and stuff like that. So he had that nice little desk job there, but I'm sure he was getting good money there, but he wanted to fight, and he wasn't going to fight in the UFC. So for him to leave the UFC to come out of retirement, he's going to go to a different organization to fight, and the UFC is the cream of the crop. So if he goes to a different organization, I'm assuming he's going to fight light heavyweight again. And the other organizations, you know, it's Rashad Evans. He's a phenomenal wrestler, and he was a UFC champion. So depending on how well a shape he stayed in all these years, I mean, he's probably got a good shot at another organization. So all the best of luck to Rashad. That was wild to hear, man. I didn't think he was going to come out of retirement, man. You just missed it that much, huh? That's wild. Now, the next fight that we should be pretty fucking pumped for is the baddest motherfucker fight. Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz. East Coast gangster versus West Coast gangster. Stockton versus... where's Masvidal from? Jacksonville or some shit? He's from Florida. That's an interesting fight, man. When they lined up to do the face-off, you always forget how tall Nate Diaz is. Now, he did have some shoes that might have given him some height. He had like these big-ass shoes on. I don't know what he was wearing. Maybe like it was these big-ass black shoes. So maybe that gave him a little bit of height, but he's definitely bigger than Masvidal. He's the bigger man. He's taller at least. But they both... Between the two, I mean, Nate Diaz has a fucking chin on him. And Masvidal actually fights at 170, knocked out Darren Till, did light work of what do you do, Pettis. Dude, Masvidal's on a tear, and then just KOing Askren like that in like 30 seconds or whatever. It's hard not to think Masvidal is going to do work in that fight. But at the same time, when you look at Nate Diaz was gone for damn near 3 years. It came back and fought Pettis. And beat Pettis, man. In 3-round fashion. In dominant fashion, too. It wasn't like, oh, he kind of won. No, he definitely won that fight. And he's somebody that's got phenomenal cardio. Like if that, and assuming that the baddest motherfucker, it's an actual belt. God damn it, it's an actual belt that they created for these two motherfuckers, which is wild. I don't even know how that works. I think it's like a show belt that they're only using for this fight. You're not gonna be a belt holder of the baddest motherfucker forever. I think they're just doing it for show for this fight, but it's going to be a 5-rounder, which Nate Diaz excels at. He does better in a 5-round fight. Nate Diaz, the more decorated boxer and phenomenal Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. On the ground, great. Masvidal, a much better, well-rounded striker. He uses more legs, more feet, more kicks. I think he's a better striker. Nate Diaz definitely a better just boxer. So we'll see what happens. It should be an interesting fight, man. I am so hyped for that fight. I don't know who to root for. We got two people with Mexican roots. Let's fucking go, son. Let's go. How do you not? How does everyone in the world not tune in for this fight? Nate Diaz is a star ever since the Conor McGregor stuff. And Masvidal has, in his own way, in his own right, become a star in the last few fights, doing work with Darren Till, Anthony Pettis, and then Ben Askren. All that shit talking that happened with Ben Askren, he knocked his ass out in like 3 seconds. Wild. And then celebrated, showboated, did his thing. And then the craziest part afterward, he's like, yo, this shit ain't over either. If I see that motherfucker in Whole Foods, that shit is on. He said Whole Foods. Whoa, what a G. Oh, I cannot wait for this fight, man. I'm a big Masvidal fan. And then, it all started, this whole Masvidal thing started almost a year ago with Leon Edwards. When Leon Edwards was trying to talk shit to Masvidal while he's in the middle of his was it after a fight? I can't remember. It had to have been after a fight. I think it was after his Till knockout? It was after a win that he had. And then Leon Edwards trying to talk shit to him in his interview afterward, and then came up and put his hands up when Masvidal had his hands behind his back, and Masvidal pieced him up, and he said he gave him a 3-piece and a soda. Oh man, this dude is a walking fucking legend, bro. He's just coming out with the quickness, with his hands, the quickness with his wit, man. Masvidal's a gangster, bro. So I don't even know what to think about this fight. Between the two, man, I do not know. I don't know who's gonna win. I have no fucking clue, but I'm tuning in to find out. Please believe I'm tuning in to find out. It's gonna be a good ass fight. And a lot of people have called out McGregor in the last couple of years. Everybody's called him out. Khabib called him out. Tony said he would whoop his ass. Masvidal called him out. Nate Diaz called him out. Dustin Poirier called him out. I don't know. I was one of the people that said McGregor's never fighting again. I said no fucking way. He's done. After that Khabib ass whooping, nobody want to see that again. After that Khabib fight with Dustin, he said, book my rematch for Moscow. And I think they were like, yo, Tony's the first one in line. And then UFC president Dana White said, if the Tony Khabib fight falls through, number one in the backup is Conor. Now, I don't know when the Khabib Tony fight's gonna be scheduled for, but McGregor's definitely prepping for a fight. It looks like McGregor has been in training, has been in camp for a fight. One, because I think he's hoping Tony Khabib falls apart and he can slide in. But if not, I think he needs a fight and a win to prove that he can still go up and bang against Khabib. Because Khabib's like, he's nobody. He's a nobody. He's not going to win. He doesn't deserve a fight. So he really needs to get a win under his belt in order to do that. And there's been talks of different things that I've heard for Conor, the biggest thing I heard, he might get the winner of Nate Diaz and Masvidal. That could be a fight. The other fight I heard is him and Dustin Poirier might fight, and then the other fight that I heard was him and Gaethje might fight. And dude, out of those three, shit, man, him and Gaethje would be a fun fight. Out of those three, him and Gaethje might be the fight. I know that he's supposed to be. McGregor's supposedly supposed to have a fight in December. There's few cards in December. Holloway Volkanovski's December 14th, and another one that just got announced, Ortega Korean Zombie, December 21st. 2 cards that he might be able to get on. McGregor, if because I think, I mean, you could do him in the winner of Diaz Masvidal, but that's cutting it short, man. That's cutting it real fucking short. So I'm looking at the calendar right now, and if he's fighting in December, it might be Gaethje. It just might be Gaethje. We might get that Justin Gaethje fight after all. I know Gaethje wants the winner of Khabib Tony, but I think that Khabib Tony's gonna be a while, so he'll be waiting. So while he's waiting, he might fight Conor, and then a winner of Conor and Gaethje might get the winner of Khabib Tony. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, and I think it might be Gaethje. We might be getting that Gaethje fight, son. Why is my camera blinking? Let me double check this real quick. Hold on. Let me see what the fuck is the deal. Nah, I don't know what that's about. That's weird. I don't know what that was about. Yo, we might get that Gaethje Conor fight, and that would be one hell of a fight. That's if I'm a betting man, that's who I think that's going towards. I think he's fighting. He's gonna be fighting Gaethje to get the winner of that fight's gonna get the winner of Tony Khabib. And if it's him and Gaethje, you got a guy in Gaethje who will press forward and fight with his hands, and you got a guy in Conor who wants to keep the thing standing on his feet. It's going to be an all-out war on your feet. No one going to tackle. Gaethje ain't tackling Conor. Gaethje going in there to knock Conor the fuck out. And then we're going to be able to find out exactly if he can do it. Gaethje's got bricks for hands. There's a few people in there that are harder hitters than Gaethje. And oh man, that will be what better fight for Conor. That's definitely, that fight right there is going to showcase both of them so well. Please let that happen. Jesus Christ. Did you guys hear the other weird thing? Listen, for all the people that are watching this on YouTube, you guys know the camera records only for 30 minutes. And then cuts out, so I'm trying to keep a close fucking eye on the time and on the camera, and that thing is blinking, so I don't really know what the fuck that means. So I'm just really trying to keep an ear and eye out. Anytime this thing goes close to 29 minutes, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. You guys hear that Stipe wants to talk with Colby? Because apparently during Stipe's last fight with DC, while Stipe was there fighting DC, his wife is in the audience, and his wife is walking with his coach or whatever, and Kobe's out there shouting shit to his wife. Now they didn't release what he said to the wife, but Stipe said whatever it was, it made Stipe go, I want to have a talk with this kid. I want to fucking talk to this kid. I don't want to knock his head off or nothing. I just want to sit down and have a little talk with him. And the wild thing about that, the craziest thing about that is that Colby Covington is a dude who's a camera tough guy, right? He plays up a character just for the camera, but behind the scenes, everyone says, yep, there we go. Told y'all. Ow. I don't know when that went out. Really don't. So anyway, Colby Covington is a camera tough guy, and he's a dude that people say behind the scenes he's a really nice guy or whatever. So he's doubling down on this act that he's doing. And so for him to say something to Stipe's wife while she's walking by is weird because you're not on camera. I mean, you are on camera because you're in the arena and there's cameras, but you're literally not on camera. Like there's no microphone on you, no one's interviewing you. So it's for him to just say some wild shit to Stipe's wife, it almost seems like he's trying to become the character. He's like Andrew Dice Clay when Dice Clay was just a character in his act, and then he just became Dice. And now it seems like Colby is just trying to become the character that he's been portraying. And it's for him to just talk. I don't know what he said to Stipe's wife, but that's wild, bro. Like just the level of, I don't know what he said. I really don't. So I don't know if he's like trying to holler at Shorty. I don't know if he's just like said, yo, if he's trying to pull some fucking Mr. T shit, like, I'll show you a real man. Come on over here, sweetie. Come on. You want a real man? Yo, I literally charged this camera. I literally charged this shit all night and it's about to die. I do not understand how this shit's about to die. That don't make no sense. Anyway, I don't know what he said to Stipe or his wife, but that shit is wild if he's doing it. And then the last thing I want to talk about is Ortega, Korean Zombie, December 21st. That's going to be a fun fight. We have not seen Brian Ortega fight in damn near 3 years. Last time we saw Korean Zombie, he had that uppercut that he got knocked out with, that flying uppercut. It's going to be an interesting fight. Korean Zombie likes to bang. Brian Ortega, hopefully he's been training. I don't know. We literally haven't seen him do anything. I thought he was done with fighting because he had 0 things on the bucket list to do in terms of in the ring. So, I hope, I like them both. I'm trying to end this goddamn thing. So I hope Brian Ortega can come back and do his damn thing and kill it and be right back in contention because he's a phenomenal ground game. And hopefully he's been working on his striking and stuff.